Hi there, my name is Sergio Carpenter and you're welcome to yet another tutorial in this series, EVCL's Mumu 3D. In this particular video, we're going to be looking at the three basic transforms, and we're going to be doing that using this low polygon model of a rocket here. So without further ado, let's get to the business of the day. At this point, some of you might be wondering, what exactly is a transform? Well, a transform is actually to alter an object's position, orientation, form, structure, etc. from one to another. So it essentially means to alter an object, in this case in 3D space. So let's move along so that I will try to show you more of what I'm talking about here. The first transform we're going to be looking at is the move and translate transform, and what that essentially does is enable you to move your object along the X, Y, and Z axis. And typically there's two ways to do that. You can do that using the typing, and since we're using the move and translate tool, the values we're going to be typing in into these boxes of the X, Y, and Z axis down here are going to be the position values, which in this case are in centimeters. So let's just type in 13 here, and let's type in 45 in the Y axis, and then let's type in 56 in the Z axis. So you can see how we just transformed our object position in 3D space using the typing here. And you could also use the spinners here to increase or decrease the values you've already typed in. You can see this way you have a more interactive feedback of what you are doing in the viewport. So you could do that for the Y axis as well, and as for the Z axis as well. So that's that for the typing, for using the typing to transform your object. And the other method is using the gizmo. Typically, by default, when you select an object, the gizmo should be visible, but for the benefit of this tutorial, I deliberately hid it. So let's quickly unhide that, and you can see this tripod we have here with the three axes X, Y, and Z, and the colors red, green, and blue are the handles of the gizmo that you can use to transform your object's position in 3D space. So how you do that is simply by moving your mouse or cursor over any of these handles, and you see that it flashes yellow to show you that it's ready to move in that direction, and you just click and move, click and move, and click and move. So you've seen there how you could transform your object using the gizmo, and you are not just restrained to transforming in one direction. For instance, here I want to move my rocket somewhere here. I wouldn't want to do it like this and then move it along my y-axis like this. It's another way to do it, but I just wouldn't do it that way. An easier way to do that is just to click on this handle here where the Z and the y-axis are connected, and you just move it that way, and you can see the way transforming use on two axes at the same time. So you could do that for the other handles here. You can see the Y and the Y and X axis, and I could do that for the Z and X axis as well. So let's move along to the next transform, which is the rotate transformation, and let's reset our scene so that our rocket is back to its original position. And you can see the first thing you'll notice when you use your rotate transform tool is that the gizmo is slightly, well, a lot different than the move and translate transform gizmo, because that one is essentially a tripod, and this one is more of a sphere, and the handles are spherical, circular in appearance. So, but if you look closely, you can see it still has the same color code, red, green, and blue for the X, Y, and Z axis respectively. So you also use that to transform your object. And then, as you've seen for the move and translate transform gizmo, how you use this one as well is just by moving your mouse over any of the circular handles we have here, and it flashes yellow and showing you it's ready to move, and you just click and move, you know, like that. So Again, like we've seen for the move and translate transform, uh, you are not just restrained to doing it on one axis at a time. You could click in the open area within the gizmo sphere, and you can see I'm actually doing a free transformation in any direction I want right now. So you've seen how that is being done, and let's just undo what we just did. And you could also use the typing transform to transform your object's rotation, and we just to quickly do that. You can see we have our X, Y, and Z rotation typing dialogues here. So since we're using the rotation transformation tool, the values we're gonna be typing here are gonna be in degrees. So let's type in a degree value here, and let's see, we type in 15 degrees for the x-axis. You can see our object just rotated in that direction. Let's see, 90 degrees in the y-axis. You can see it rotated in 90 degrees there, and 120 for the z-axis. So you see how to transform your object's rotation using the typing and the gizmo. And let's move on to the next and last transform we'll be looking at for the day, which is the scale transform. Once again, let's reset our scene so that our rocket goes back to its initial position. Yeah, and select our objects. Yeah, the gizmo for the scale transformation is kind of similar to the one for the move and translate, in the sense that it's also a tripod, and it has the same color code and the same it has the XYZ axis as well. So what essentially the scale transform does, as the name suggests, is to scale your object, or in terms of percentage, along any of the axes. So say I want to make my rocket shorter, I'll just look at the gizmo handle that's in the direction I want to scale it, and then I'll just grab it, and since I want to make it shorter, I'll move it down, and you can see I've turned my missile into a dwarf missile there. So you get the idea there. You can also do it in the other axis. You can see how we're doing that along the y-axis or along the x-axis. Let's undo that again. And you could also do it on multiple axes. As we are seeing here, for the x and z, or for the x and y, and for the y and z. We could also do it for scale it on all the three axes, and by clicking the center here and moving it, and you can see it's actually not squishing or deforming the object's appearance in any way. It's just scaling it uniformly in all directions. That's because yeah, it is actually scaling it uniformly in all directions. So that's why we are not getting any weird squashing like we do when we are doing that on one or two axes. So again, we could use our typing window down here to type in the scale transformation values for objects, which in this case is in percentage. So let's type in there. You can see how we've typed in that value and made our object smaller, and you can see we've scaled it up again. So that's that for the two basic transforms. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and see you next time.